Hey there, productive member of society. Are you considering IT as a possible career option, but you have no degree and you don't want to pay $7,000 up to $10,000 for one of these overhyped IT career boot camps? Okay, well, you're in the right place. I do not have a course to sell. I am not selling you on hype, only the real roadmap that I used to get to the position that I'm currently at. I currently work as a system administrator and I've been in IT for the last 10 plus years. And I'm going to show you how I would start from ground zero if I was trying to switch my career or just getting started out of high school. That being said, let's get started. The first step of this process is research. You need to write a paragraph at least of why you want to get into IT. Is it financial stability? Do you actually like working on software? Do you like working on hardware? Or you just want a job that pays more? You will see why that is important later on. Here's mostly everything that you will need to get started. You need 5 to 7 hours a week set aside just to study. You will need at least $500 set aside for certifications, certification study materials, and equipment. And lastly, you need grit. See, the thing is, most people who are trying to switch career or trying to get into IT, they know about certifications. And everyone is rushing in trying to get certs as fast as possible, taking test dumps just to pass. This isn't you. If you're watching this video, this isn't you. If you are that person, this video isn't for you. While I encourage you to use practice tests to pass your exams, if you are taking test dumps and memorizing all of the questions on the test, you will fail at your career in IT. The first thing to understand is certifications are important, no doubt. They look good on a resume. However, the most valuable asset is experience, which is where your $500 budget comes in. After writing down your one paragraph or more on the things that you are interested in, go that route. Let's put that $500 to use. If you don't currently have a good, reliable computer that you can mess with and do what we call lab work on, use that $500 to acquire a computer. It doesn't have to be new. It doesn't have to have all the latest specs. You are not gaming. You can go on eBay, OfferUp, Amazon sometimes have some good, reliable computers that you can get for $200 or less. If you do have the resources, you can put more towards this lab equipment. I, for example, have a server in my home. You do not need that. That is extra because I can afford it. If you are on a $500 budget, here's the specs that I would recommend. I would recommend you get 250 gigabytes of storage space, 16 gigabytes of RAM, a quad-core CPU. And in my personal opinion, that's all you need for a reliable lab to break, to fix, and to explore technological terms or concepts on your own. Notice I haven't even mentioned anything regarding certifications because based on your interest, that will determine which certification you attack first. If you are into the cloud, you should sign up for a free account with Azure or AWS. They give you $200 worth of credits for free for you to practice. Secret, if that $200 runs out, create a new account. You get $200 more. I am not advertising you do that, but if you're on a shoestring budget, you got to do what you got to do. As most people will tell you, if you do not have any experience or prior knowledge or foundation in IT or information technology, the A+ is a great start for certification. You will learn a lot. As most people will recommend to you, the A+ is a certification that most people will recommend to you if you do not have any experience or foundation in information technology, because the A+ is like a big pot of gumbo. You have everything in there. You have cloud, security, networking, software, hardware troubleshooting. As you can see, it covers a lot. So you have a broader understanding and knowledge of IT. Once you've acquired a laptop, go to YouTube, find a video on how to install either Proxmox or VirtualBox. Both softwares are free. This is great hands-on experience because that is getting you involved in the world of virtualization. And within virtualization, there are a lot of concepts involved like data management, access control, so forth and so on. I, for myself, am running Proxmox on my home server. Once you have your home server running, I suggest you install either Ubuntu or Windows Server. Ubuntu Server is free, and Windows Server comes with a 180 days trial. Here's where your IT skills comes in. right? If your 180 days expire, you should be able to Google how to renew that license. This is incorporating your troubleshooting skills. In the real world, a lot of the things that you are going to encounter are not going to be handed to you. You have to go to Google, Reddit, other websites, incorporating different sources and different websites together to find a solution to your problem. And you are doing all of this without even acquiring one cert. And if you are dedicating 5 to 7 hours a week to your learning, you will be way ahead of the crowd without even having one cert. The second thing that I would do is, I know you probably have an aunt, you have a grandma, you have an auntie, you have a cousin who have a very old laptop. Ask them if they are willing to help you learn on their device. Meaning that if it's slow, you can ask to speed it up. You can ask to change the battery. You can ask to upgrade the RAM, upgrade their hard drive to SSD. Also, with all of that, you are learning skills. You are literally learning how to troubleshoot, how to do virus cleaning, malware cleaning, how to transfer data from an old hard drive to a new SSD. You are literally learning how to swap parts. I say do that for 3 to 4 months, consistently for 5 to 7 hours a week. While this seems like a lot of work, and a lot of people advice differ from mine, where they will tell you to go right away get a certification, I personally value the experience way more, because a lot of people coming into IT have these certifications but have zero knowledge onto how these systems work together or how to properly troubleshoot. Once you've got a nice foundation and you actually have some hands-on experience, then I would suggest you take the A+, which at this point should be pretty easy, which should pretty much be a review. I suggest you go to YouTube and find resources like Professor Messer. He has a whole library on reviews before you take the A+. Once you've got your first cert, the other thing I would highly suggest that most professionals aren't doing, which I personally wasn't doing and I started doing recently, is have your own personal website or have your own YouTube channel. Host projects that you are working on, and you can share that on your resume, which will make you stand out. Like, oh, hey, he doesn't just have all these certifications that look shiny. He actually has hands-on experience, or she has hands-on experience. Notice I haven't even mentioned anything extra technical. If you have extra time on your hand, I would learn a programming language. It doesn't have to be anything in depth like C# or C++. Learn PowerShell or Python. These two programming languages, they are used to automate a lot of things in IT, and you literally cannot go wrong with either. I guess you can call me a fundamentalist. I believe in building a strong foundation. Once you've attained the A+, my suggestion is to get the Network Plus. For the Network Plus, here's another kicker. If you have Wi-Fi at your home, I am certain you have a router. Start messing with that. There are a lot of Raspberry Pis that you can acquire for a few $100. Install pfSense on there, which is a firewall, and you can configure it. Mess with it. You will learn a lot of networking terms, see it in action, see what it does, connect your laptop to it, and see how that reacts. In your Proxmox environment, see how that reacts, see how that interconnects with everything. And you are doing all of this within 4 to 6 months. Once you feel comfortable, I say sit down and test for the Network Plus. While you may think that's a lot to accomplish within 6 months, I promise you it's a lot easier if you are dedicating the time, 5 to 7 hours a week, to studying. It is a lot easier if you consider it as if you are attending a university. You have to dedicate the time to learn, to read, to watch videos, and implement yourself. You can watch this video 10,000 plus times, which I would appreciate, right? But to be quite honest with you, you're not going to learn anything. You are going to watch this video, go sit down, let it escape you, and do nothing. The best thing to do is to watch the video, go on your home lab, and try to implement the things that you've watched. Because without you physically doing, you are not learning. You are just watching. And once you have all of that skill and you've acquired the A+ and the Net Plus, you are ready to apply for a job. I would target things like junior sysadmin, a network analyst position, help desk specialist, IT specialist. None of this matters if you're not prioritizing your mental health. Make sure you get adequate sleep. Make sure you go outside and walk. Make sure you get a break from all of this technological things, because every single day we literally use the computer. We sit down for most of the workday. Make sure you go outside and walk and take care of yourself, because otherwise you cannot continue to learn. Once you've been in that job for 3 to 6 months and you've learned Active Directory, you started working with Entra, and you are doing all of these other products, you are troubleshooting hardware, you are troubleshooting network issues. That's when you start niching down. You start looking at Oh man, the cloud is very interesting. Oh, I like security. I like troubleshooting hardware. I like etc. etc. Then you start niching down. And I promise you, instead of just going certifications, if you take the time to actually build a strong foundation, once you get into the field, you will see that you are ahead of the competition because you weren't just reading test banks and you pass the certification. You actually understand the fundamentals. You will be in a place to understand things like I cannot communicate with AP number 4, which is access point number 4. You will understand things like what you need to do, how you need to troubleshoot that. It will set you apart. And once you decide to niche down, the other thing I would strongly suggest is to keep learning. Learn programming languages, learn how to automate, learn automation, learn automation, learn automation. Because every business is focused on automating things and making things easier on yourself and making things easier for the organization because they are hiring you to hopefully make money, to save time, to make things easier. The more help or the easier you can make it on the employer, the more likely you are to get a job. Let me know if I'm missing anything. From my professional experience, that is why I would recommend that a newcomer do or does. Yes, it's gonna suck. 7 hours a week is gonna require time away from watching the football game. It's gonna require time away from watching the UFC on Saturday. But is it doable? Yes, it is. And I think it will be worth your time as well. If you have any questions, make sure you drop them down below. I'll try to answer them as fast or as soon as I can. And if you need help with any lab or getting started with labbing, Active Directory, or you need an overview on Entra, on how to troubleshoot networks, I can make videos on those topics for you. Good luck and kick ass, man.